Hello and welcome to Havachat English. I'm Serena. In this episode, we'll explore something close to my heart: mindful teaching in the style of Thich Nhat Hanh, the Vietnamese Zen master who shared the art of living peacefully and compassionately. I'll tell you a story about a teacher who struggled with noisy classrooms, pressure from school leaders, and even self-doubt. But through mindfulness, she discovered a gentler way to guide her students. Along the way, we'll review some powerful English phrases that will help you speak about teaching, leadership, and mindfulness in a natural way. So take a deep breath, and let's begin. The story takes place in a middle school in London. Emma was a young teacher, passionate, energetic, but often drained by the constant demands of her job. Every morning, she rushed into the classroom with books under her arm and a steaming cup of coffee in her hand. The students were noisy, filling the room with chatter about football, TikTok, or their weekend plans. At first, she tried to get the situation under control. "Settle down," she shouted. But the noise always returned, like waves crashing against the shore. One evening, after another exhausting day, Emma wandered into a small bookstore. On a quiet shelf, she spotted a slim book with a gentle cover. "Peace is Every Step" by Thich Nhat Hanh. She opened it at random and read, "When you plant lettuce, if it does not grow well, you do not blame the lettuce. You look for reasons. Perhaps it needs more water, less sun, or better soil. You never blame the lettuce." Emma stopped and thought, what if my students are like lettuce? They don't need blame. They need better conditions. The next day, she tried a new approach. Instead of bursting into the room with instructions, she walked in quietly, set her books down, and took a moment of stillness. She placed her hand on her stomach and breathed slowly. The students noticed. Their chatter softened, and eventually the whole class grew quiet, not because Emma forced them, but because her calmness was contagious. After class, one boy lingered. "Miss, why were you standing so still?" he asked. Emma smiled. "It helps me feel centered. "Want to try?" The boy shrugged, then nodded. So they stood together, breathing in and out. For the first time, Emma felt she wasn't just delivering lessons, she was leading by example. Over the weeks, she began to weave mindfulness into her teaching. When the classroom grew restless, she didn't scold. Instead, she said gently, "Let's take a pause." She invited the students to put down their pens, listen to the sound of a small bell, and simply breathe. This became a ritual, a shared moment that brought the class back together. Emma realized she wasn't merely teaching grammar and history, she was fostering a sense of calm. Of course, not everyone approved. A colleague rolled her eyes. "Breathing exercises. You'll fall behind on the syllabus." Emma smiled and replied, "Maybe, but we'll finish with clarity." In time, her students became more focused, more respectful, and surprisingly, their results improved. But the greatest change wasn't in their grades. It was in the atmosphere of the classroom. For the first time, learning felt like a practice of peace. Vocabulary review. All right, let's pause here and look at some key phrases from Emma's story. Repeat each one after me. 1. Get the situation under control. Get the situation under control. This means to manage or calm down a difficult situation. Emma tried to get the situation under control by shouting, "Settle down!" Example: the manager got the situation under control after the meeting became chaotic. 2. A moment of stillness. A moment of stillness.
This describes a short pause of calm and quiet. Emma created a moment of stillness when she stood silently and breathed. In daily life, before making a big decision, I like to take a moment of stillness. 3. Calmness was contagious. Calmness was contagious. If something is contagious, it spreads easily, like laughter or yawning. Here, Emma's calmness spread to the students. Example, her laughter was contagious, and soon everyone was smiling.
4. Leading by example. Leading by example. This means to show others how to act by demonstrating it yourself, not just giving orders. Emma didn't tell students to be mindful, she showed them by practicing it. Example. Good leaders lead by example instead of just giving commands. 5. Fostering a sense of calm. Fostering a sense of calm. To foster means to encourage or develop something. Emma fostered a sense of calm by inviting her students to breathe and listen. Example. The teacher fostered a sense of curiosity in her classroom. 6. Finish with clarity. Finish with clarity. This was Emma's answer to her colleague. It means completing something with focus and understanding instead of stress or confusion. Example. I'd rather finish with clarity than rush through and make mistakes. Let's replay Emma's story more fluently using the phrases we just practiced. Emma struggled to get the situation under control in her noisy classroom. Shouting didn't work. Then she discovered Thich Nhat Hanh's wisdom. Don't blame the lettuce, check the conditions. So she changed her approach. She entered quietly and created a moment of stillness. Her calmness was contagious, and soon the students settled on their own. Emma began leading by example, breathing deeply, inviting pauses, and fostering a sense of calm in her classroom. Some colleagues doubted her methods, but Emma simply replied, "Maybe, but we'll finish with clarity." Her students not only improved academically, but also learned the deeper lesson of presence. So what about you? The next time life feels chaotic, try creating a moment of stillness. Calmness can be contagious. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe to Havachat English and share this episode with a friend. And remember, you can practice more English at the Havachat website. The link is in the description. Until next time, may you finish with clarity.